The warship, the Vanguard, moved silently through the void, its hull gleaming with technology that no other species in the galaxy had ever seen. It was massive yet elegant, a combination of raw power and careful design. Commander Elias Reed stood on the bridge, gazing at the holographic map of the Andromeda system. The mission was simple in words, but impossible in execution. Humanity had arrived among the stars and now they had to prove themselves. "Status report," Reed said, his voice calm but commanding. Lieutenant Mara Patel, young but brilliant, turned from the navigation console. "All systems green, sir. Shields at full strength, engines stable. We're entering the outer perimeter of the alien system in 5 minutes." Reed nodded, his eyes scanning the view screen. The alien scouts had already spotted them. Tiny blips of light moved nervously around the periphery of the system, watching, waiting. There was no way to know if they intended to communicate, or to attack. "Open a channel," Reed ordered. The communications officer activated the universal translator. A series of strange sounds filled the bridge, harsh and melodic at the same time. Reed frowned. "They're hailing us." The message was brief, almost robotic. "Unknown vessel, state your purpose. Leave this space immediately." Reed leaned forward. "This is Commander Elias Reed of humanity. We come in peace. We seek contact and mutual understanding." There was a pause. The alien ships shifted their positions, creating a tense formation. Then another message came: "Peace is not possible. You are trespassing. Prepare to be destroyed." Reed's jaw tightened. "So much for diplomacy," he muttered. The crew of the Vanguard had trained for this moment for years. Every officer, every engineer, every pilot knew that humanity had few allies and many unknown enemies in this galaxy. Yet, there was a confidence among them that Reed could feel, a quiet belief that humanity could face anything. "Commander," Mara said, pointing to the tactical display. "They're scanning us. Their sensors are weaker than ours. If we act carefully, we can avoid provoking a full attack, at least for now." Reed nodded slowly. "Keep all defensive systems online. I don't want surprises. And alert the fleet, we may not be alone in this." Even as he spoke, the stars outside the viewport seemed to hum with anticipation. This was no ordinary moment. Humanity's first contact with an alien species would be remembered across galaxies. And whether it ended in war or peace, it would change the course of history. Suddenly, one of the alien ships accelerated toward them. It was small, fast, and armed with weapons that glowed with a pale green light. The bridge erupted in activity as officers scrambled to monitor it. "Lieutenant Patel, evasive maneuvers," Reed commanded. "Keep us out of their firing range." The ship responded instantly. The Vanguard twisted through space, a dance of steel and light. The alien vessel fired a burst of energy, which the human shields absorbed effortlessly. There was a moment of silence, then another burst, this time closer. Reed's hands moved over the control panel, issuing precise commands. "Countermeasures ready. Weapons on standby. Let's show them what humanity can do, but only if we must." Mara's fingers flew over the interface, her mind racing. "These aliens are aggressive but predictable. Their patterns are simple. If we stay calm, we can control the encounter." And then it happened. The Vanguard emitted a pulse of energy from its engines, a controlled burst that sent the alien ship spinning away, temporarily disabled. The bridge crew let out a breath they hadn't realized they were holding. Reed didn't smile. "Good, but don't relax. There are more of them out there. And they will come." Outside the viewport, the alien system seemed peaceful, almost serene. Nebulae glowed softly, and distant stars sparkled like diamonds. Yet beneath that beauty lay danger, an entire galaxy watching humanity, uncertain what these newcomers were capable of. "Commander," said the science officer, Dr. Lien Chin, "our sensors detect energy signatures we haven't seen before. The aliens are building something, possibly a fleet." Reed turned. "Estimate time to completion?" Dr. Chin shook her head. "Impossible to say. But if we stay here much longer, we may face overwhelming numbers." The weight of command pressed down on Reed. Every decision he made could mean survival, or destruction, for humanity. And yet, there was a strange thrill in knowing that they were the first humans to stand in this part of the galaxy. "Very well," Reed said, his voice steady. "We observe, we learn, and we prepare. Alert the crew, this is only the beginning. Humanity has arrived and we will not back down." As he spoke, Mara Patel noticed something strange on the sensors. A faint signal, almost imperceptible, was moving toward them. It wasn't an enemy ship. It wasn't a weapon. It was something else. "Commander," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. You need to see this. Reed stepped forward. The holographic display lit up, showing a shape approaching through the darkness of space. It was massive but elegant. Its design was unlike anything humans, or aliens, had ever imagined. Lines of light traced across its hull, pulsing rhythmically like a heartbeat. It's beautiful, Dr. Chin said softly. Reed's eyes narrowed. And it's heading straight for us. For the first time, the crew of the Vanguard felt a mixture of awe and fear. This was not just another alien vessel. It was something entirely new. Something powerful. And humanity was about to meet it face to face. The stars seemed to hold their breath. And in that moment, Commander Elias Reed knew that the story of humanity among the stars had truly begun. The galaxy would never forget the arrival of the Vanguard. Commander Elias Reed paced the bridge. His eyes scanned the stars, where alien ships were slowly assembling, shimmering like swarms of insects in the void. Status report, he said. Lieutenant Mara Patel looked at the tactical board. Their numbers are increasing, sir. At least 12 small cruisers and 3 larger capital ships. They're still hesitant, but they're scanning us continuously. Any sudden movement may provoke them. Reed nodded. We want peace, but we'll fight if necessary. Open a communication channel again. Let's try one more time. The communications officer activated the universal translator. The alien language crackled across the speakers, full of harsh tones and clicks. After a long pause, the message came, Human vessel, you persist. State your purpose. Leave immediately or face destruction. Reed leaned forward. We seek peaceful contact. We come to learn, not to conquer. Humanity wishes to build understanding, not enemies. The bridge crew waited, tense. Outside the viewport, alien ships shifted, forming defensive patterns. Their hesitation showed something, fear or perhaps curiosity. Commander, Mara said, their sensors are detecting our energy output. They don't understand our technology. That gives us a small advantage, but they could react violently. Keep weapons in standby, Reed ordered. But do not fire unless necessary. We are here to show we are not a threat, unless provoked. Despite Reed's words, one of the alien scouts suddenly moved closer, faster than expected. Lights on its hull glowed as if charging a weapon. The bridge erupted into alert signals. Prepare defenses, Reed commanded. Shields at maximum. Ready all countermeasures. The first shot fired. A green energy beam streaked toward the Vanguard, but the human ship's shields absorbed the attack with ease. There was a moment of silence, then another strike. Mara's fingers moved quickly over the control panel. They're testing us. Calculated strikes, nothing reckless. They want to see what we can do. Reed's eyes narrowed. Then we'll show them restraint, not recklessness. Hold position. Observe. The alien ships circled, keeping a cautious distance. Meanwhile, sensors picked up another signature, one unlike the alien's own technology. A small probe moved between the fleets, scanning and recording. Humanity had sent it first, a quiet observer to study the enemy. Commander, Dr. Lien Chin said, our probe has already mapped their weapons and defenses. We know their firing patterns, shield strengths, and maneuver limits. If we fight, we'll have the advantage. Reed exhaled slowly. We don't fight yet. First contact is about understanding. But we will not be caught unprepared. Suddenly, one of the alien ships broke formation and accelerated toward a nearby asteroid station. Humans watched carefully as the vessel fired upon the structure, sending fragments into space. Reed's eyes narrowed. They want to provoke us. Prepare a warning shot. Mara's hands hovered over the console. Sir, if we fire, we may trigger a full-scale battle. Then make it precise, Reed replied. A warning only. Disable, don't destroy. A pulse of energy erupted from the Vanguard, striking the alien ship's engines. It spun out of control, but the hull remained intact. The aliens paused, clearly surprised. Reed knew then that they respected strength, but they also feared recklessness. This is only the beginning, Reed said quietly. They are testing humanity. And we must show them we are clever, brave, and disciplined. Meanwhile, in the observation deck, young engineers and scientists marveled at the alien formations. Their ships were strange and elegant, designed for efficiency and speed. Yet humans had something no alien could fully understand: adaptability and creativity. Mara studied the patterns. Their tactics are linear. They repeat the same movements and firing sequences. They rely on numbers and coordination. But humans can improvise. Reed smiled slightly. Exactly. We may not be the strongest, but we are resourceful. That is why humanity survives. Hours passed as the fleet circled, exchanging scans and occasional warning shots. Tension filled every corridor of the Vanguard. Crews monitored energy outputs, communications, and life signs. The aliens were cautious, but each new move by humans forced them to react, rethink, and hesitate. At one point, a small delegation of alien ships sent a signal indicating they wanted to speak directly to humans. Reed considered it carefully. Mara, prepare a small shuttle. We may have an opportunity for direct dialogue. Mara nodded. Sir, if this fails. It won't fail, Reed interrupted. We adapt. That is our strength. The shuttle launched, cutting through the void toward the alien cluster. Inside, Reed and a few trusted officers prepared for the first true meeting between humans and aliens. There was no turning back. Humanity had made its presence known, and now the galaxy would respond. When they arrived at the alien command ship, the humans were greeted with strange lights and shifting shapes. Alien representatives appeared, tall and thin, with glowing eyes and limbs that moved in ways humans had never seen. They regarded Reed silently, studying him as he studied them. Reed stepped forward. I am Commander Elias Reed of humanity. We come in peace. Our species wishes to understand yours and share knowledge. The alien leader's voice echoed in the translator. Peace, and yet your vessel destroyed one of ours. Why should we trust you? Reed nodded solemnly. It was a warning, not an attack. We defended ourselves. Humanity respects life, but we will not be destroyed without reason. We are strong, yes, but our true strength is in cooperation, not conquest. There was a pause. Then the alien leader tilted its head, a gesture that humans could not fully understand, but it seemed thoughtful rather than aggressive. For the first time, the humans realized something important. Fear and respect were universal. And while the galaxy might not trust humanity immediately, it would have to recognize its strength, courage, and wisdom. As the shuttle returned to the Vanguard, Reed addressed his crew. This is only the beginning of our story. Humanity has made its first contact and we survived. We showed courage, restraint, and skill. The galaxy will take note. But the challenges are far from over. Prepare yourselves, for the real test is coming. Outside, the alien fleets watched silently. The stars continued to shimmer, but now there was a new presence in their midst, humans. And they were not easily ignored. Commander Elias Reed stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, staring at the holographic map of nearby star systems. Lights blinked, representing fleets moving through space. Intelligence reports indicated that several powerful empires were mobilizing their ships, coordinating strategies to deal with humanity. Lieutenant Mara Patel, sitting at the tactical console, frowned. Sir, multiple fleets are converging on our location. They must see us as a threat. Some of them are sending envoys, others are preparing weapons of mass destruction. They won't wait long before taking action. Reed's expression was calm but determined. We expected this. Humanity may be new to the galaxy, but we are not weak. We will observe, defend, and adapt. That is how we survive. Dr. Lien Chen, the ship's science officer, spoke up. Commander, our sensors have detected unknown energy signatures. These are larger than anything we encountered before, possibly a new type of weapon. If the empires launch them at us, our shields may not hold. Reed nodded. Then we prepare. Mara, increase defensive output to maximum. Let's make sure no weapon can surprise us. We may be outnumbered, but we are never outsmarted. Meanwhile, the alien fleets communicated in ways that humans could barely understand. Fleets coordinated like living organisms, sharing data instantly. But there was a flaw: predictable patterns. Humans had seen patterns like these before and knew how to exploit them. Mara studied the formations. Their tactics are rigid. They rely on numbers and coordination. If we can strike strategically, we can create confusion. Reed smiled faintly. Exactly. Humans are unpredictable. That is our advantage. In the midst of planning, a signal reached the Vanguard, a message from a distant system. Smaller alien species, oppressed by the larger empires, offered tentative alliances. They had observed humanity's encounter and were impressed by the restraint, intelligence, and courage humans displayed. Reed considered the offer carefully. We don't make friends lightly, he said. But we must remember, allies are the key to survival in a galaxy full of threats. Send a message of cautious acceptance. Let them know we value cooperation, but we act independently. Hours turned into days as the Vanguard monitored the galaxy's response. Alien fleets moved like shadows across the stars, testing boundaries, sending probes, and exchanging coded messages. Humanity was no longer a secret. They were a rising presence, and every civilization had an opinion about them. Then intelligence reports arrived. A coalition of 3 major empires was forming. These were the most advanced and warlike species in the sector. Their leaders viewed humanity as a threat that could not be ignored. Fleet movements indicated they were planning a massive attack. "Sir," Mara said, tension in her voice, "we may be facing 10-to-1 odds. This is not just a small battle, it's a coalition. They want to destroy us before we can grow stronger." Reed leaned over the tactical board, studying the reports. "They are trying to intimidate us," he said. "But intimidation only works if we fear it. Humanity does not fear. We respect caution, but we will not surrender." Dr. Chen interjected, pointing at a glowing diagram. "Commander, our engines have a latent mode we haven't used yet. It could give us extreme speed, allowing us to outmaneuver even these fleets. Combined with Mara's tactical calculations, we could hold our position, or strike first if needed." Reed's eyes lit up with determination. "Good. Prepare the engines. Begin simulations. We may need every advantage we have to survive the coming storm." As preparations continued, the crew of the Vanguard began to realize the weight of their situation. Humans were no longer isolated, they were part of a galaxy filled with both wonder and danger. The stakes had grown higher with every passing hour. In the observation deck, young cadets watched the stars in awe. One whispered, "Do you think we can really survive against all of them?" Mara, standing beside them, replied, "We are humans. We adapt. We fight. And sometimes that is enough to change history." Reed, observing from the bridge, felt the same truth. Humanity's strength was not in sheer numbers or overwhelming firepower, it was in courage, ingenuity, and unity. The galaxy might underestimate them now, but it would learn soon enough what humans were capable of. Suddenly, a signal arrived from an unexpected source, a neutral alien race that had avoided conflict for centuries. Their message was clear: "We will watch humanity. If attacked, we will defend you. But proceed carefully, war spreads faster than knowledge." Reed nodded, understanding the significance. Allies, even hesitant ones, could tip the balance in future conflicts. And humanity would need all the help it could get. "Prepare for potential engagement," Reed ordered. "We may not be able to avoid combat, but we will fight smart. Humanity does not cower in the shadows of fear. We rise, and we rise together." The stars outside the viewport seemed to shimmer with anticipation. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy was beginning to respond. Some with fear, some with curiosity, and some with the desire to destroy. But the message was clear: humans were no longer just inhabitants of Earth, they were players in a much larger game. Hours later, as fleets moved closer and alien warships prepared for potential confrontation, Reed looked at his crew. "Remember," he said, "we are not here just to survive. We are here to show the galaxy what humanity can do. Courage, intelligence, and unity will guide us. And in the end, we will endure." Mara Patel smiled faintly. "Then let's make history, Commander." Reed nodded. "Yes. Let the galaxy remember the day humans arrived. And let it tremble at the power we can bring, when forced to fight." Outside, the stars continued their eternal dance. But among them, a new presence had arrived. And the galaxy would never be the same again. Commander Elias Reed stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, his hands gripping the edge of the command console. "Sir, they're moving in fast," Lieutenant Mara Patel reported. "Multiple vectors, heavy weapons online. They've coordinated their attack. We're outnumbered 10-to-1. Reed's eyes narrowed. "Then we'll make each shot count. Prepare for battle stations. Alert every officer and crew member. Humanity may be small, but we fight smart." The crew moved with practiced efficiency. Engineers checked shields, weapons officers loaded plasma cannons, and navigators plotted evasive maneuvers. The tension in the air was palpable. This was humanity's first real battle in the galaxy, and everyone knew there could be no mistakes. "Target their formation," Reed commanded. "Focus on the largest ships first. Disrupt their coordination. Use their numbers against them." Mara's fingers danced across the tactical console. "Sir, if we strike the lead capital ship, the rest will hesitate. Their command network depends on it." "Do it," Reed said calmly. "And remember, avoid unnecessary destruction. We fight to survive, not to annihilate." The first shots fired. The Vanguard's weapons glowed with blue energy as they struck the lead capital ship. The blast rocked the enemy vessel and its shields faltered. Smaller enemy fighters attempted to flank the vanguard, but humans had anticipated this. Energy pulses redirected, and precise fire disabled two of the fighters before they could close in. The alien fleets were stunned. No one expected the humans to maneuver so skillfully. They had speed, strategy, and unpredictability on their side. "Commander, their weapons are powerful, but their aim is predictable," Mara said. "We can outmaneuver them. If we use the asteroid field ahead, we can force them into a trap." Reed's eyes lit up. "Good thinking. Prepare course for the Lyra 7 asteroid belt. Maximum speed." The vanguard surged forward, weaving through jagged rocks and glowing debris. The alien fleet followed, their larger ships struggling to navigate the narrow passages. Humans used the terrain like a chessboard, controlling each move. "Fire the disruptors," Reed ordered. "Target their propulsion systems, not their hulls. Let's slow them down without destroying them completely." Blue beams shot out from the vanguard, hitting enemy engines and sending several ships spinning uncontrollably into asteroids. The smaller fleets hesitated, unsure of how to respond to such clever tactics. Humans had turned the environment itself into a weapon. In the chaos, Mara noticed a new pattern in the enemy movements. "Commander, they're regrouping. They've learned from our tactics and are coordinating a counterattack. If we don't adapt quickly, we could be overwhelmed." Reed nodded. "Then we adapt faster. Activate the ship's latent engine mode. Extreme speed. We'll outflank them before they can react." The ship shuddered as its engines glowed brighter than ever. The vanguard darted through the asteroid field, appearing where the aliens least expected. Energy cannons fired from unexpected angles, taking out critical systems on the enemy vessels. Confusion spread through the alien fleets. Their confidence was breaking. "Commander," Dr. Lianchen said, "our sensors indicate alien morale is dropping. Smaller species are signaling for retreat. We may be able to end this engagement without total annihilation." Reed's face hardened. "Then we press carefully. Strike decisively but minimize casualties. Humanity fights with honor." The battle raged for hours. Lasers streaked across space, explosions lit the darkness, and ships spun in desperate maneuvers. But the vanguard remained a beacon of control amid chaos. Every decision, every tactic, every shot demonstrated that humans were not just survivors, they were warriors with intelligence and courage. As the enemy fleets began to retreat, Reed gave one final order. "Hail them. Offer terms. Retreat now or we escalate. Let them know humanity is strong but merciful." The communications officer activated the universal translator. The message reached the alien leaders: "We will fight to survive, but we do not wish for unnecessary destruction. Leave now and no further harm will come to you." There was silence for a tense moment, then the alien ships slowly withdrew, leaving the battlefield. Humanity had won. Not by sheer firepower but by strategy, courage, and adaptability. The crew of the Vanguard cheered quietly, exhausted but triumphant. Mara looked at Reed. "We did it, against impossible odds." Reed nodded, but there was no celebration yet. "We survived, yes. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy has seen what humanity can do, and now many will seek to challenge us. Prepare for the next encounter. Humanity's presence has changed everything." In the observation deck, young cadets stared at the stars, some in awe, some in fear. One whispered, "Do you think anyone can stop them?" Mara smiled. "Perhaps not. Humanity fights differently. We use our minds, our courage, and our unity. That is why we endure and why we may thrive where others fail." Outside, the stars seemed calm again. But the galaxy had witnessed something extraordinary. A single human ship had taken on multiple empires and emerged victorious. The legend of the Vanguard was only beginning. And somewhere, far across the galaxy, alien leaders would whisper a single truth: do not underestimate humans. The battle had ended, but the war for respect, survival, and recognition had only just begun. Humanity had proven its strength, but Commander Elias Reed knew that victory came with new challenges. The galaxy had taken notice, and not everyone would welcome humans with open arms. "Commander," Lieutenant Mara Patel said, studying the tactical display, "we've received messages from several smaller alien species. They want to communicate directly. They witnessed our battle and they seem impressed. Some even want to offer alliances." Reed's gaze remained steady. "We need allies, yes, but we must be cautious. Many of these species have been oppressed by larger empires. Their loyalty may shift if their rulers call them home. We can accept help, but only on our terms." Dr. Lianchen, monitoring the sensors, spoke up. We've detected several neutral systems moving in our favor. They're offering resources, intelligence, even safe passages. Humanity could expand influence quickly if we negotiate carefully. Reed nodded. Good. Prepare diplomatic channels. Let's show them that humanity is not just powerful but honorable and trustworthy. Meanwhile, Mara's eyes flicked across the tactical map. Sir, we've also received reports from intelligence. Some of the larger empires are not pleased. They are gathering fleets. They may launch a coordinated counterattack soon. The coalition that attacked before is reforming, stronger than before. Reed's expression hardened. Then we must be ready. Allies will help, but the fight may come again. Humanity's strength lies not only in technology and tactics, but in courage, unity, and adaptability. That is what we show the galaxy. The first delegation arrived in a small shuttle. The species was humanoid in form, though taller and leaner than humans. Their skin shimmered with faint metallic hues, and their eyes glowed softly. Commander Reed met with their leader, a dignified figure named Calith. We witnessed your battle, Calith said, their voice translated through the universal system. You fight with skill and restraint. You do not strike blindly. For that reason we wish to offer our assistance. Reed inclined his head. We accept your help, Calith, but we seek mutual respect, not submission. Together we can protect those who are threatened and navigate this galaxy wisely. Calith nodded. Then we are allies at least for now. But understand, there are those who would see your species destroyed before it grows stronger. Outside, the galaxy seemed calm, yet Reed could sense the tension lurking in distant star systems. He turned to Mara and Dr. Chin. Prepare the fleet, strengthen defenses, and continue improving our technology. We may be victorious in battle, but the war for respect and survival is only beginning. Weeks passed as humanity forged alliances. Small species sent ships, intelligence, and resources. Humans shared knowledge where appropriate, careful not to reveal all their capabilities. Reed understood the delicate balance. Too much sharing could invite betrayal, too little could breed mistrust. During this time, Mara discovered a hidden feature in the Vanguard's core systems. Commander, if we integrate these enhancements, our speed and maneuverability will increase exponentially. The aliens won't anticipate it. We could control the battlefield like never before. Reed studied the schematics. Excellent. Make it so. Humanity must stay one step ahead. In this galaxy, hesitation can be fatal. But not all encounters were friendly. Smaller fleets of rival species, loyal to the coalition, began testing humanity's defenses. Skirmishes erupted near neutral systems, forcing the Vanguard to respond. Humans fought with precision, taking minimal casualties while demonstrating power and resolve. One particular encounter revealed the growing threat. A warship from a coalition empire approached a human allies' colony with the intent to attack. The Vanguard intercepted, disabling the ship without destroying it entirely. The humans then delivered a clear message: humanity protects its allies, and those who threaten them will face consequences. Mara turned to Reed. We're gaining respect, Commander. But the coalition is watching and they are learning fast. They will adapt. Reed nodded. Then we must evolve faster. We fight not only with weapons but with intelligence. The galaxy will respect humans not because we are invincible, but because we are clever, courageous, and unified. As new allies joined humanity's cause, the Vanguard became more than a ship. It became a symbol. Small species whispered stories of the humans who fought fearlessly against overwhelming odds. Merchant fleets sent supplies, offering loyalty in return for protection. Even neutral systems began reconsidering their stance, realizing that siding with humanity could bring safety, knowledge, and stability. But Reed never underestimated the dangers. Every ally may one day face threats, he said. Every enemy may strike when we are weakest. We must stay vigilant. Dr. Chin added, Commander, our sensors have detected unusual activity near the edge of the system. It appears the coalition is assembling a fleet larger than the last. They are sending scouts in every direction. Reed's jaw tightened. Then it seems the next battle will be more dangerous. But humanity is ready. Prepare the fleet for full readiness. We may have allies, but in the end, the responsibility rests on us to defend humanity and those who trust us. In the observation deck, young cadets looked at the stars. One asked, Do you think humans can really survive all this? Mara smiled. We are humans. We adapt, we fight, and we endure. That is our strength. Others may fear us, underestimate us, or even hate us, but they will never forget us. Outside, the Vanguard drifted among the stars, surrounded by ships of allies and the shadow of distant enemies. Humanity's presence was now a force that could not be ignored. Every move was watched, every battle anticipated. The galaxy had learned one undeniable truth: humans were clever, resourceful, and determined. And as Commander Reed looked out into the dark expanse, he knew this was only the beginning. Allies would strengthen humanity's position, enemies would challenge it, and the galaxy would continue to change around them. But one thing was certain: humans would face every trial with courage, intelligence, and unity, and the legend of the Vanguard would grow with each passing day. The stars, silent observers for eons, now bore witness to a new era. Humanity had allies. Humanity had enemies. And humanity would shape the galaxy in ways no one had ever imagined. Commander Elias Reed stood tall as Mara read the incoming report. "Commander, the Coalition fleet has arrived. It's massive. Bigger than anything we've seen before." "How many ships?" Reed asked calmly. "At least 200 warships," Mara answered. "Heavy cruisers, long-range destroyers, and several command vessels. They're advancing fast," Dr. Chen added, "and they're not alone. They've brought elite fighters from multiple empires. This is their full strike force." Reed's gaze remained steady. So the Coalition finally shows its true strength. Outside, the stars shifted as a looming wall of alien ships moved closer, dark, sharp, and coordinated. They wanted to crush humanity's influence before it grew further. But Reed was prepared. "Activate Alliance Protocol," he ordered. "Signal all Allied fleets. It's time." Within minutes, warp signatures appeared on the sensors. One by one, humanity's new allies arrived. Small but determined fleets from the Caliph, the Valrin, the Sithri, and several independent colonies. Their ships formed a protective ring around the Vanguard. Caliph appeared on the screen. "Commander Reed, we stand with humanity." Reed bowed his head slightly. "Your support is valued. Together we face whatever comes." The Coalition fleet halted at the edge of the system. A moment later, a message arrived, filled with arrogance and certainty. "This is your final warning," a deep voice growled. "Humanity must surrender its ship, its alliances, and all technological claims. You have caused enough disruption. Peace will only return when your species is controlled." Reed glanced at his team. "They want control. They will get our answer." He stepped forward and spoke with calm authority. "This is Commander Elias Reed of humanity. We will not surrender. We will not kneel. If you seek to take our freedom, our allies, or our future, then you will face us. All of us." Silence filled the channel for a moment. Then the enemy replied coldly. "Very well. Prepare to be erased." The screen shut off. Mara tightened her fists. "They're powering weapons." "Then we begin," Reed said. "All ships, battle formation echo." The fleets moved smoothly. Human ships took the center. Allies formed outer layers, each prepared for the fight of their lives. The Vanguard floated like a spearhead, silent, strong, and ready. The first wave came fast. Dozens of Coalition fighters darted forward, releasing energy bursts and plasma torpedoes. Human defense grids activated instantly, intercepting the blasts with precise counterfire. "Maintain shields," Dr. Chen called. "They're testing our front line." Mara studied the pattern. "Commander, they're probing for weaknesses. They want to see how we react." Reed nodded. "Then we show them nothing." The fighters retreated and the main fleet advanced. Massive ships shifting into formation. Heavy cannons glowed with charging energy. "Commander," Dr. Chen whispered. "If they fire all at once, our shields won't hold." Reed's voice remained steady. "They won't get the chance." He activated a hidden command. "Unveil Project Horizon." Suddenly, the Vanguard's hull shifted. Panels opened, revealing advanced ion arrays never used in battle before. Bright blue lines traced across the ship's spine. Mara stared. "Sir, that's the prototype system. Are you sure?" "We need a turning point," Reed said. "This is it." The Coalition fired, but the ion arrays surged with blinding light. The Vanguard moved faster than any ship its size should, dodging the incoming blasts with impossible precision. Dr. Chen gasped. "The new maneuvering system, it works." Reed didn't hesitate. "Bring us to their left flank. Target Command Ship Alpha." The human ship cut through the battlefield like a streak of light. Allied ships followed, inspired by the sudden display of speed and power. The Coalition panicked. "Commander, their fleet is adjusting." Mara shouted. "They didn't expect this level of mobility." Reed smiled slightly. "Good. Keep it that way." The Vanguard launched precision strikes at the enemy command ship. Shields cracked, engines sputtered. Nearby coalition captains scrambled to compensate, shouting orders, but everything moved too fast. Then something unexpected happened. A Caliph cruiser took a direct hit while protecting a human frigate. Its hull split apart, drifting into silence. Mara's voice cracked. They saved one of ours. Reed's expression hardened. No loss will be forgotten. Focus fire, push the enemy back. But the coalition responded aggressively. 3 heavy cruisers moved to flank the Vanguard. Their energy weapons charged to maximum. Dr. Chin shouted, "Incoming fire, too much to block." Reed raised his hand. "Brace." The blast hit. The Vanguard shook violently. Alarms blared. Sparks flew across the command deck. "Shields at 30%. Dr. Chin called. Reed steadied himself. "We hold. All ships, counterattack." Human and allied fleets surged forward. The battlefield lit up with blue, red, and gold flashes. Explosions carried silent shockwaves through space. For a moment, it looked hopeless. The coalition's numbers were overwhelming. Their formation was tightening. They were slowly surrounding the human alliance. Mara whispered, "We're being boxed in?" Dr. Chin added, "If they close the circle, we're done." Then Reed saw it. A weakness. "Open the map," he ordered. "Zoom in on sector Delta 3. They zoomed. A gap, tiny but real, was forming in the enemy's rear formation. Their ships were shifting without coordination. Reed's eyes sharpened. There. The weakness in their line. Mara nodded slowly. "If we break through that gap, we could force their fleet to split." "Exactly," Reed said. "That gap is our turning point." He activated the ship-wide broadcast. "This is Commander Elias Reed. All ships follow the Vanguard. We strike at Delta 3. Today humanity does not retreat. Today we change the war." The engines roared. The Allied fleet surged behind humanity's flagship. And the Vanguard charged into the opening, cutting straight toward the heart of the coalition fleet. The galaxy held its breath. This was the moment. This was the turning point. The Allied fleet followed the Vanguard into the small gap in the coalition's formation. It was a dangerous move, but everyone trusted Commander Elias Reed. If humanity was going to survive, this was the moment to act. Mara's voice was tense. "Enemy fleets are adjusting. They're trying to close the gap." Reed replied calmly, "Then we move faster. Full power to engines." The ship surged forward. The stars stretched into bright lines as the Vanguard accelerated. Behind them, Allied cruisers and swift fighters kept a tight formation. The coalition didn't expect such speed and precision. Confusion spread among their ranks. Dr. Chen studied the readings. "Commander, their formation is breaking on the left. If we strike now, we can split their entire fleet." Reed nodded. "Prepare all main weapons. This is the final push." The coalition realized the danger too late. Their lead admiral shouted orders, trying to close the gap, but ships collided, signals failed, and formations shattered under pressure. "Commander," Mara called out. "They're opening fire, but their shots are wild. They're losing control." Reed stood firm. "Good. That's what we needed." He activated the ship-wide channel. "All Allied ships, this is the moment. Strike with everything you have." The battle exploded once more. The sky filled with streaks of energy, burning metal, and broken ships. Human and Allied forces moved like a single, well-practiced unit. The Vanguard fired its ion cannons, hitting the coalition's central power link, their communication relay ship. The blast tore through its hull. Sparks scattered into space like falling stars. Dr. Chin shouted, "Communication link destroyed. Their fleet can't coordinate anymore." Mara smiled. "Now they're blind." Without unified signals, the coalition ships began acting on delayed commands and damaged sensors. Some drifted, some rotated out of position, and others accidentally fired on their own allies. Chaos spread through their lines. Reed saw the opening he needed. "Target the command flagship," he ordered. "End this." The coalition's command vessel was huge, armored with thick plates and bristling with weapons. It had been their pride, their ultimate symbol of power. If it fell, the entire coalition fleet would collapse. Enemy ships swarmed around it, desperate to protect their leader. Mara studied the map. "Commander, getting close will be dangerous. They're concentrating all weapons on us." Reed answered without hesitation, "We've been in danger since the day we entered this galaxy. That never stopped us." The Vanguard accelerated again, dodging blasts with its advanced maneuvering systems. Enemy shots scraped the hull, shaking the ship violently. Shields at 20%. Dr. Chin warned. We can't take many more hits. Reed remained steady. We won't need many more. Prepare the main cannon. The crew worked fast. Energy surged through the ship, gathering into the cannon's core. But then, a blast hit the Vanguard from the side. A massive energy beam from an enemy heavy destroyer ripped through shield layers and shook the entire ship. Sparks flew. Consoles overloaded. Lights dimmed. Mara gasped, a direct hit. We've lost our secondary shield generator. The hull groaned under pressure. Dr. Chin looked pale. If we take another hit like that. Reed cut him off. We won't. Lock targeting on the destroyer. The Vanguard fired a precision burst. The destroyer burst apart in a silent explosion. But the damage was done. Alarms echoed everywhere. Systems flickered. The main weapon began losing power. Mara turned. Commander, the main cannon is unstable. If we fire now, there's a chance the weapon overheats. Reed didn't blink. What percentage chance? 30%, she answered. And the chance of winning this battle without firing? Mara took a breath. 0. Reed nodded. Then we fire. The crew didn't hesitate. They trusted him completely. Begin final charge, he ordered. The cannon hummed with rising energy. The deck vibrated. The hum turned into a loud roar as the weapon reached maximum power. Dr. Chin shouted, "Weapon ready. But we must fire now before the system melts." Reed raised his hand. Fire. A powerful beam of white-blue energy shot from the Vanguard straight into the Coalition command ship. The beam pierced the hull, tearing through its armored layers. The enemy's core reactor cracked, glowing dangerously bright. Mara whispered, "Commander, it's going to blow." A moment later, the command ship erupted into a massive explosion that lit up the entire battlefield. Waves of fire and debris rippled through the Coalition fleet. Without their leader, enemy ships panicked. Some tried to retreat, others surrendered, and many simply shut down. The battle was over. Silence returned to the system. Allied ships cheered through communication channels. Some cried, some screamed with joy, and others simply breathed in relief. Calith appeared on the screen. "Commander Reed, humanity has done the impossible. You have changed the balance of the galaxy." Reed exhaled slowly. It wasn't just us. It was all of us, standing together. Dr. Chin checked the readings. "Commander, the remaining Coalition ships are retreating at full speed. They won't be back anytime soon." Mara smiled softly. "We did it." Reed looked at the view, stars, debris, glowing nebulae. The battlefield where humanity proved its strength. "Send this message across the galaxy," he said. His voice was firm, calm, and filled with pride. Humanity stands for freedom. Humanity protects its allies. And humanity will not be erased. Cheers erupted across the Allied fleet. That day became legendary. Across the stars, people whispered about the Vanguard, the human ship that changed everything. Humanity had entered the galaxy with one ship, faced impossible odds, and won through courage, strategy, and unity. Commander Reed watched the stars quietly. He knew more challenges would come. More wars. More dangers. But humanity was no longer alone. They had allies. They had respect. And above all, they had a future among the stars. The galaxy would remember this day forever. This was humanity's final strike. And it marked the beginning of a new era.